Hey everyone, this is Jason with Ketamine Academy. One of the most common questions I get asked is how did I choose my clinic location and what type of criteria did I use. So I just wanted to make this little video. I'm going to walk you around a couple of the places that I considered and then tell you a little bit about the pros and cons of each one. So I'm standing in front of this unit here. This is a medical suite, a series of suites. You can see here there's a dentist, a doctor's office, another dentist, and so the unit I was looking at was this one right here. And so it was a fairly large unit. It had it was a little over 3,000 square feet. And so what I did was call the owner and ask them, what the rent was and if they were willing to subdivide some of the space. And so this particular owner was, a mom and pop shop. So they weren't interested in subdividing the space, and so that was kind of a deal breaker for me. As a no-go after that. I didn't want to lease 3,000 square feet. They weren't willing to negotiate whatsoever, and so I moved on from this one, even though it was a great location. You can see here it's on the corner of a really busy intersection. There's some signage in the front, so it would have been a pretty nice location had they been willing to negotiate a little bit. And you'll find that with the mom and pop shops is that they're not so much interested in, some of them may not be so much interested in negotiating. And I'll take you over to the next location I checked out and start the video back up again. So this here is one of the other buildings that we had looked at, which I really liked. It's right off of a busy street here. I'll turn the phone around. Fairly busy street. It's in a nicer part of town. The actual office building is this one right here behind me, and it's the actual office space was on the second floor. And so this one had the square footage that we were interested in. It's it's rented by Collier, a big brokerage. They sell real estate and also rent out commercial properties. And the big downside on this one, even though the price was good, the size was good, was that it was on the second floor. And the deal breaker here was that it didn't have an elevator. And so we were figuring if we were going to be doing some pain infusions that we may have some patients that weren't going to be able to take the stairs. And also we didn't want people going up or down the stairs after the ketamine infusions. So that was the deal breaker here, is that we had called the broker and found out that there wasn't an elevator. And so I'll take you over to the next one that we checked out, and we'll start the video back up again. All right, so this was another location that we looked at. We really liked this this building. Very nice building. On the inside, it's very modern, very like a modern industrial type of look. But you can see here that the co-tenants would be things like real estate agents, real estate developers, engineers, architects. So we felt that was kind of a downside, that there wasn't any medical in this building at all. So we'd be the only medical. Also, if you look behind me, you can see that it's in somewhat of an industrial area. There's a trucking center behind us on that side of the building. I'm not sure what that building there is. You've got a Goodwill with more trucking centers across the street there. And it's kind of off the beaten path just a little bit, even though it's really nice on the inside. It has a secretary in the front, and she directs the patients towards your suite. And so we really like this one. The price was also pretty high here. They were, I think they were around $22 a square foot. That included the receptionist. The place that we ended up choosing was only $16 a square foot. So that's just one of the other places that we ended up taking a look at. And so now we'll go to the one that we actually decided to rent, and we'll take you through a little tour around the clinic there. Alright, so this here is the building I actually decided to go with. It's a larger building, it has some medical offices in it. There's a spine institute, there's a physical therapy office in here, there is an orthotics / prosthetics company that's in here. And the building looks nice from the outside, has a nice facade, and then it's in the same, shares a parking lot with Olive Garden. So it makes it easy for people to find us. We just tell them to find the Olive Garden. We're in the same parking lot. We've got a first floor here, so we don't have to worry about the elevator. It's right off the main expressway, which is good. It comes off Pan American Trail and the major I-25 expressway that runs through the city. So this is the exterior, and I'll run inside and we'll show you the inside of the clinic. Alright, so this is the inside of the building. When you first walk in the door, those doors here are for a unit that goes upstairs. This is the orthopedics place here. And then right down this little hallway is where my office is. And so we're only open by appointment, so we put that sign on the door. It says by appointment only. I think it's backwards on this selfie cam here. This is the inside of the clinic. Let me just turn the camera around here and I'll show you the inside. So this building was absolutely hideous when we first moved in. It had red walls. This entire consultation room wasn't even there. And this divider wall wasn't here. We built that out and we changed all the flooring and we painted. Originally this had all red walls. It had this gray and red carpet, and it was just one open room. So we did a little bit of work in here to make it look nice. But when you walk in the door, we have this little reception area here. Behind that reception area is the consultation room. And we also use that room for private infusions. And as you come around the divider wall from the waiting area, you'll see the infusion room here. So we've got 3 recliners in here. Each one's separated by a divider. Give a little bit of privacy. Then we have our hand washing sink, our med station. So this kind of brings us around to the other side of the consultation room. So this is just a small room that we use for our initial free consultations, our history and physicals. We just do those in here. And then if a patient requests private infusion, then this is where we would run the infusion, right here in this little room, because you can shut the doors. And so this is this is our space that we chose to go with, and it fit us perfectly. It's under 700 square feet. The rent was very low cost. It was right around $16 a square foot, and the landlord said that we can paint the walls, we can do whatever we wanted to in here to make it nice. We were able to negotiate $2,500 in TI, which is tenant improvements. And so if you have a landlord who's really interested in getting their place leased out, they'll oftentimes offer up some TI money. So for 1 year lease, they were offering $2,500. If we signed a 2-year lease, they were going to give us $5,000. So what we did, we liked the idea of a 1-year lease, starting with a small space, and this has worked out great for us at the beginning because the rent was pretty inexpensive. The rent here, like I said, was around $16 a square foot. We're under 700 square feet, so the total rent is somewhere around $900, and that includes our electricity. That includes cleaning. So every evening on the weekdays, the cleaning staff comes in, they take out the trash, they sweep the floors, and take care of all that stuff for us, which is great. There's no bathroom in this actual unit, and so the bathroom is actually, if we come back out to the main entrance, this was probably the only downside to this unit, was that there was no bathroom inside of it. So the bathroom's kind of over here around the corner. What we do is we walk the patients, we put the patients in a wheelchair and we wheel them over here if they need to go to the restroom, during their infusions. So minor inconvenience to deal with. It already came with a hand washing sink, so that saved us, the expense of putting this whole, the counters and the sink in and running plumbing. So that saved us a good, I would guess at least $5,000 right there in expenses and putting a sink, which is most other places didn't have any sinks included, so we would have had to put that in at other locations. And so far this has worked out fantastic for us. We do get a few patients every once in a while that mention that they'd prefer a private infusion, which is why we built out that consultation room, especially as we were getting busier. We didn't want to do consultations where other patients could easily overhear what the other patients were saying. So it's worked out great for us so far. We're coming up on a year here in this space, and we actually decided to stay one more year, and they offered up another $2,500 in tenant improvements for signing for another year, and we used that money to build out that consultation room over here. And this build out here of the consultation room was a little over $5,000, so they paid for half of that for staying another year, which was great. So we'll make this place work for one more year, and then we'll probably move to a bigger location because we are continuously getting busier. But so those are the kind of important things you want to think about when looking at your space. Sink. You want to think about your sink, your access for bathrooms and handicapped. You want to think about accessibility, how easy it is to get to, how easy it is to find. Landlord flexibility is also great. If they're willing to give you some TI money and also willing to let you make renovations or improvements to the space, that's super helpful. And so that's pretty much what you should really be thinking about when looking for spaces, along with one other thing that was really important to me was having it being close to my house, because we're open by appointment only. Is how we did it initially here, so that way we were cash flow positive from the first month that we were open. We only came in when there was appointments booked, and so we didn't have wasted payroll of people sitting around with nothing to do. So we wanted a place that was really close to home, and this place, this location is about 3 or 4 minutes from our house. So that worked out perfect. Worked out perfect for when you're first getting started to have a place close by where you can just drop in when you have appointments. So those are the major things to consider when looking for your office space. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to post them on the Facebook groups, and happy to answer them. Talk to you guys later.